With great power comes great ego. Part 1. Last week we met King Nebuchadnezzar. Remember, he went to Jerusalem, he tore down the walls of the city, and he took Daniel and all of his friends captive to the great city of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar was a great king, and many people were under his authority. So someone gave Nebuchadnezzar the idea of making a statue of himself that everyone could worship. So Nebuchadnezzar built a huge statue of gold and put it out where everyone could see it. Then Nebuchadnezzar sent for all of the advisors and treasurers and judges and court officials and all of the officers and officials of Babylon, and he called them to come and see his great statue. I want to tell you about 3 very special people that we've already met because they are friends of Daniel. Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they were very faithful to God. So the king, when he had called all the advisors, the treasurers, the judges, and the court officers, and he had shown them the statue, he told them what was expected. And this is what he expected. When the musicians would play the horns and flutes and zithers and lyres and harps and all kinds of pipes, when the music would play, everyone was to bow down to the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar. Do you see the problem there? Nebuchadnezzar wants everyone to worship his idol. What do you think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are going to do? Well, the king commanded the musicians, and they played their horns and flutes, their zithers, lyres, and harps, and all kinds of stringed instruments, and the people bowed down to worship Nebuchadnezzar. All of the advisors, all of the treasurers and judges and court officials, they all bowed down when the music was played, and they faced the great idol that King Nebuchadnezzar built. Well, almost everybody. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego remained standing. Why do you think they kept standing? Well, the king didn't notice the first time, but some of the people came to the king and they whispered in his ear, "Hey, king, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they didn't bow down to your statue." That didn't make the king very happy. The king called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to talk to them. And the king said, "If you don't bow down when you hear the sound of the horns and flutes, the zithers, lyres, and harps, then I will throw you into the fiery furnace. I'm going to give you one more chance." What would you do if the king gave you one more chance? I wonder what I would do. So the horn and flutes, zithers, lyres, harps, and pipes began to play, and one by one, the people of Babylon the officials, the moms, the children, the teenagers, the dads, they all bowed down and worshiped King Nebuchadnezzar, but not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the king told them that he was throwing them in the fire, and that no one, no God, no power could save them. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego disagreed. They said, "We might be thrown into the blazing furnace, but the God we serve is able to bring us out alive." Do you believe that God is able? They said even more. "He will save us from your power, but we want you to know this, even if he doesn't save us, even if God chooses not to, we're not bowing down to you, because our faith is in Yahweh, the God of Israel, the God of creation, the God of the universe." So the king had the fire built up even stronger until the flames were coming out of the furnace. And men threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fire. The flames were so hot that one of the men who threw them in burned up. And they shut up the fire, the furnace. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego just stood in there. And when they looked a little closer, the king said, "Didn't we throw 3 men into the fire? But why do we see a 4th who looks like a son of the gods?" Have you ever been through the fire? Was anyone with you when you went through it? So the king ordered that the furnace be opened back up, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were all brought out. Their clothes were not burnt. Their hair was not singed. And as the king inspected them, he was amazed. And he said, "That's it. You were right. Not only was your God able to save you, your God saved you." And so the king said that everyone in all the land should not only worship him, but should worship the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the God of Israel, the God of creation, the God that you and I worship today. Praise be to God that he was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Praise be to God that he is with you and I today. And praise be to God that we know this story and this great truth. Until next time, May the Lord be with you.